You feel overwhelmed, and you don't even know how to explain it. It's not just stress, and it's not just tiredness. It's that strange weight sitting on your chest when everything around you keeps moving. But inside, you feel stretched thin. Your mind is full. Your heart is heavy. And part of you wonders how much longer you can carry this unseen pressure. You smile when required, function when necessary. But deep down, you feel like something is reaching its breaking point. You've been holding on for a long time, longer than people realize. You've listened, waited, prayed, adjusted, and kept going even when answers didn't come. And lately, it feels like everything is happening at once. Memories resurfacing, old doubts whispering, responsibilities piling up, expectations pressing in from every side. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're overloaded because you've been carrying more than most. Here is what you need to understand right now. This feeling is not random. This is not burnout without meaning. This is pressure before release. You are not collapsing. You are being stretched because something is about to expand. And expansion always feels uncomfortable before it becomes visible. You are standing close to a turning point, even if your emotions haven't caught up to the truth yet. This Wednesday is not just another day on the calendar. It is a dividing line, a moment where things quietly but decisively shift. And the reason you feel overwhelmed is because your spirit senses what your logic hasn't fully processed yet. Something is aligning faster than you expected. You've been asking yourself questions late at night. Why does it feel like I'm always on the edge? Why does rest feel so far away? Why do I feel called for more but stuck in the middle? The answer is simpler than you think. You are at the edge because edges are where transitions happen. You are tired because you've been walking uphill longer than most. And you feel called for more because more is actually calling you. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. The overwhelm is not a sign to quit, it is a signal to prepare. When heaven moves, it often does so quietly at first, creating inner tension before outer change. Many people mistake this phase and retreat. They numb themselves when they distract themselves. They convince themselves that tomorrow will be the same as yesterday. But you are not meant to miss this moment. There is a choice in front of you, even if no one has explained it to you yet. You can stay in survival mode, or you can step into alignment. Survival keeps you busy. Alignment changes your trajectory. And this Wednesday, alignment becomes possible in a way it hasn't been before. You may feel unready. That's normal. You may feel unsure. That's human. But readiness is not about feeling confident, it's about responding when the moment arrives. Many people lose their breakthrough not because they weren't chosen, but because they hesitated when the door opened. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Renewal does not come after everything is fixed. Renewal comes first. Strength is given before the flight, not after. And that hope mentioned there is not passive, it is a decision. A decision to trust when your emotions are overloaded and your vision feels blurred. Renewal often begins quietly, almost invisibly. It starts as a subtle shift inside you, not around you. Before circumstances change, your inner posture changes. You begin to breathe differently, think differently, stand differently because strength has already been deposited before evidence ever appears. This is how heaven works. God does not wait for clarity to give you power. He gives power so you can walk through uncertainty without collapsing. That is why renewal feels strange at first. It arrives while questions still exist. reminding you that faith moves first, not last. If you're feeling overwhelmed right now, this message is for you. Not to scare you, but to steady you. Not to rush you, but to wake you up. Something is about to move, and you don't need to understand everything, you just need to stay present and responsive. If this speaks to where you are emotionally, like this message so it reaches others who feel the same pressure. Share it with someone who hasn't found the words for what they're feeling. And subscribe to stay connected, because this is only the beginning of what's unfolding. At the very end, as a sign that you're ready to release the weight and step forward, comment 77 below. You have learned that waiting changes a person. It doesn't just slow time, it reshapes perspective. At first, you thought the delay was something to endure, something to survive until life resumed its real pace. But gradually, you realized the waiting itself was doing the work. It was exposing what rushed movement would have hidden. It was teaching you how to remain steady when outcomes were unclear. There were days when you felt suspended between what was promised and what was visible. You weren't moving forward, but you weren't moving backward either. That middle space was uncomfortable because it stripped away distraction. With nothing external demanding your attention, you were forced inward. You confronted doubts you didn't know you carried. You questioned assumptions you once treated as truth. That internal reckoning was not punishment, it was preparation. Delay slowed your reactions. You became less impulsive, less eager to prove yourself. You stopped explaining your path to people who could not understand it anyway. You learned the discipline of silence, not as avoidance, but as wisdom. Silence became a filter, revealing which thoughts were worth entertaining and which fears had been too loud for too long. You also discovered that not everything lost during delay was meant to stay. Some connections faded, some ambitions dissolved, some versions of success no longer appealed to you. At first, this felt like loss. Later, it felt like relief. You were being simplified when excess falls away, clarity emerges. And clarity is essential for what comes next. The delay trained your endurance. You learned how to keep showing up without applause. You learned how to remain consistent when motivation fluctuated. This consistency was not glamorous, but it was formative. It built a kind of strength that doesn't depend on momentum. It taught you how to move forward even when enthusiasm was absent. There were moments when you wondered if you had misread the signs. You questioned whether the vision you carried was real or imagined. But even in doubt, something inside you refused to disengage completely. That persistence mattered. It revealed that your commitment was deeper than excitement. You were anchored by conviction, not emotion. Delay also recalibrated your expectations. You stopped demanding instant results. You became more attentive to process. Instead of asking how fast something could happen, you began asking how well it could be sustained. This shift protected you. It aligned you with outcomes that last rather than experiences that fade. You learned patience, but not passivity. You stayed alert. You observed patterns. You noticed timing. Waiting did not make you idle, it made you attentive. You became skilled at recognizing subtle shifts, small openings, quiet confirmations, gentle warnings. These are not skills learned in haste. They are developed in stillness. The longer you waited, the more you understood that preparation is not always active. Sometimes it is simply staying available, staying open, staying responsive. You resisted the urge to fill the silence with unnecessary movement. That restraint preserved your energy and sharpened your focus. Delay also confronted your sense of control. You realized how much you relied on planning to feel secure. When plans stalled, You had to learn trust at a deeper level. Not optimism, not denial. Trust the decision to remain steady even when outcomes are uncertain. That trust stabilized you in ways certainty never could. As the Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. That declaration reframed the waiting. It reminded you that delay does not cancel intention. It clarifies it. The plan was never abandoned. It was unfolding in layers you could not yet see. Prosperity was not limited to outcome, it included formation. Hope was not postponed, it was being strengthened. Delay taught you how to hold uncertainty without panic. You became more grounded, less reactive. You learned that urgency often comes from fear, not faith. When fear quieted, discernment grew louder. You stopped chasing every option and started recognizing the right one. You are not the same person who first entered this waiting season. You are steadier now, clearer, more anchored. The delay refined your character so that when progress accelerates, you will not lose yourself in it. You will recognize alignment when it appears because you have learned how to wait without losing direction. This season did not weaken you, it trained you, and the strength you gained here will support everything that follows. There comes a moment when the very thing you prayed for becomes the thing that tests you the most. This is the part of the journey few people talk about, because it feels confusing, even unfair. You finally receive what you waited for, what you carried in your heart for years. And suddenly you are asked a question you never expected to face. Can you release what you love without losing your faith? This is where the story of Abraham and Isaac speaks directly into your life. Abraham waited decades for a promise that seemed impossible. His body aged. Hope was tested. Logic argued against faith, yet the promise came. Isaac was not just a son. He was evidence. He was legacy. He was the future Abraham had built his entire belief system around. And then, without warning, that same promise became the altar. The test was not about cruelty. It was about order. God was revealing something eternal. The greatest blessings will always reveal what sits highest in your heart. Abraham was not being asked to lose Isaac. He was being asked to refuse turning Isaac into an idol. There is a difference, and that difference is where destiny is protected or compromised. You may not be standing on a mountain with wood and fire, but you know this tension. You felt it. The opportunity you worked so hard for. The relationship you cherish. The identity you finally stepped into. When God asks for trust at this level, it feels like risk, but it is not risk, it is refinement. Abraham walked up that mountain in silence. No argument, no negotiation, no dramatic display. Obedience at that level is quiet, heavy, and deeply personal. Every step was a step of surrender. And this is where many people misunderstand the test. God was not measuring Abraham's willingness to lose. He was measuring Abraham's willingness to trust beyond understanding. Isaac asked the question that echoes through generations, where is the offering? And Abraham's response revealed the core of faith that unlocks true fortune. He did not say, I know what will happen. He did not say, I understand this. He said, God will provide. That statement was not denial. It was alignment. This is the moment when blessing and testing collide. Because when you reach a certain level, what you carry becomes powerful. And powerful things must be held with open hands. Anything you grip too tightly begins to control you. Anything you surrender remains under God's authority. The test reveals whether you trust God for the gift or trust the gift more than God. And this is where many chosen ones hesitate. They obey easily when there is nothing to lose. They hesitate when obedience threatens comfort, reputation, or security. But Abraham did not hesitate. And that is why the test ended differently than expected. As was spoken in the sacred record of Genesis on chapter 22, verse 12. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." Notice the language. Not now I know you love me. Now I know you fear God. Reverence, order, trust. The test ended the moment Abraham proved that God still came first, even above the promise itself. And that is where the breakthrough was released. Provision was already waiting, but it could not appear until the heart was revealed. The ram was caught in the thicket before Abraham ever arrived. Heaven had prepared supply in advance, but the manifestation waited for obedience. This is crucial for you to understand. What you need next may already exist, but alignment determines when it appears. The greatest test is often hidden inside the greatest blessing. Success tests humility. Favor tests obedience. Increase tests trust. And when you pass this test, something shifts permanently. You move from receiving gifts to carrying authority. You move from hoping for provision to recognizing it. This is not about losing what you love. It is about securing it. Abraham did not walk down that mountain empty-handed. He walked down with a deeper covenant, a reinforced promise, and a legacy that multiplied. What he placed on the altar was returned, protected, multiplied, and untouchable. If you are in a season where God is asking you to loosen your grip, this is not punishment. It is promotion. He is ensuring that what is coming will not own you. He is teaching you how to carry blessing without bowing to it. At the end of this section, type "I trust God" in the comments. This is not a casual statement. It is a declaration that you choose alignment over control, surrender over fear, and faith over attachment. After the test comes a silence that feels different from the waiting you knew before. This is not confusion. This is not delay. This is the pause where heaven watches what you will do with what you now understand. You passed a test that many never even recognize. And now the atmosphere around you shifts and it becomes quieter, heavier, more intentional. This is the space where mercy steps back briefly, not to abandon you, but to let alignment take full shape. You may notice that things feel more serious now. Less emotional noise, fewer distraction. You are not being entertained anymore. You are being entrusted. When mercy steps back, responsibility steps forward. You are no longer being carried in the same way because you are being invited to walk with discernment, not impulse. This is where maturity becomes visible. This phase often feels uncomfortable because it removes familiar cushions. You don't feel the same emotional reassurance. You don't receive constant confirmation. Instead, you are guided by what has already been revealed. This is intentional. God is not silent because He is distant. He is quiet because He expects you to apply what you have learned. Many people panic here. They mistake quiet for rejection. They rush back to old habits, old dependencies, old noise. But you are not meant to retreat. You are meant to stand steady. This is where obedience becomes internal, not emotional. You move because you know, not because you feel. When mercy steps back, consequences become clearer, not harsh, but precise. You begin to see how small decisions carry weight, how alignment protects you, how misalignment drains you faster than before. This awareness is not meant to scare you, it is meant to sharpen you. You are being taught how to walk wisely with greater influence. This is also the stage where excuses stop working. You can no longer blame ignorance. You can no longer say you didn't know. Light has already been given, and light always brings responsibility, but it also brings authority. The same clarity that exposes missteps also empowers right movement. You may feel a holy urgency, not anxiety, not fear, but clarity. You sense that certain doors must be approached carefully now. Certain words must be spoken thoughtfully. Certain relationships must be handled with wisdom. This is not restriction, it is refinement. You are being trusted with more. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12, verse 48, "From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded, and from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked." That verse is not a warning. It is an acknowledgement. You have been given much insight, endurance, discernment, depth, and now your life is being aligned to carry the weight of that gift without distortion. This is why the standard feels higher. This is why shortcuts feel heavier. You cannot unsee what you now see. This heightened standard is not pressure meant to crush you. It is structure meant to protect you. What you carry now requires clarity, consistency, and restraint. The weight you feel is not punishment, it is proof that you are trusted with substance, not surface-level influence. You are learning that awareness changes responsibility. Once your eyes are open, neutrality disappears. Choices matter more. Direction matters more. But so does peace, because when alignment is right, obedience no longer feels forced. It feels steady, grounded, and quietly powerful. Mercy stepping back does not mean grace is gone. It means grace has done its initial work and is now empowering you to walk responsibly. Think of it this way: a child is carried, but an heir is trained. You are being trained. This is also where separation becomes clearer. Some people will no longer resonate with you. Conversations will feel shallow. Certain environments will feel draining. This is not arrogance, it is awareness. You are not better than others, but you are different now. And difference requires boundaries. If this message is steadying you rather than exciting you, that's a sign of growth. Not everything that is important feels dramatic. Some of the most significant shifts feel quiet, firm, and irreversible. That is what is happening here. If you feel clarity settling in as you listen, take a moment to like this message. Not for the algorithm, but as a marker to acknowledge that something landed. And if you know someone who is navigating this same quiet pressure, share it with them. Some people don't need motivation, they need confirmation. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so, not out of obligation, but connection. These messages are not meant to rush you. They are meant to walk with you through seasons like this, where discernment matters more than noise. You are not losing mercy. You are learning how to walk in wisdom, and wisdom will carry you where emotion never could. Peace is not something you stumble into by accident. It is something you practice deliberately, especially after everything you have walked through. You have learned endurance, discernment, surrender, but now your soul needs stability. Not excitement, not urgency. Stability. Because without peace, even blessings feel heavy. The kind of peace you are being invited into now is not dependent on circumstances improving overnight. It is deeper than relief. It is alignment between your inner world and God's order. And that kind of peace is built through intentional, simple, repeatable practices, not dramatic gestures. The first practice is learning how to slow your inner pace, even when life does not slow down. Your body may be moving quickly, but your spirit does not need to rush. Begin by creating short pauses throughout your day. Intentional moments where you breathe deeply and remind yourself that you are not behind. Anxiety thrives on the lie that everything is urgent. Peace begins when you reject that lie. The second practice is guarding your input. What you allow into your mind shapes the atmosphere of your soul. Constant noise, news, opinions, comparison. Negativity keeps your nervous system in a state of alert. Peace grows when you choose silence over stimulation, depth over volume. This does not mean disconnecting from reality. It means choosing what has access to you. The third practice is speaking alignment out loud, not affirmations meant to hype you up, but quiet declarations that recenter you. Simple words like, I am held, I am guided, I am not alone. Your spirit responds to what your mouth repeats. When fear speaks internally, peace must be spoken externally. Another essential practice is releasing what you cannot control daily, sometimes hourly. Peace is impossible when you try to manage outcomes that belong to God. Each time you notice yourself rehearsing worst-case scenarios, gently interrupt that pattern. Acknowledge the concern, then consciously place it back where it belongs. Surrender is not passive. It is an active decision to stop carrying weight that is not yours. You are also invited to practice rest without guilt. Rest is not a reward for productivity. It is a requirement for clarity. Many chosen ones struggle here because they equate rest with laziness. But rest is where discernment sharpens. It is where peace recalibrates your nervous system. Even brief moments of intentional rest can reset your internal state. Another practical step is simplifying your expectations. Peace does not require everything to be resolved. It requires you to focus on what is actually required of you today, not tomorrow, not next month. Overextension drains peace faster than hardship. Ask yourself often what is mine to carry today, and what is not. You also cultivate peace by maintaining spiritual boundaries. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every problem requires your involvement. You are allowed to step back, to say no, to protect your internal space. Boundaries are not rejection, they are stewardship. You cannot pour peace into others if yours is constantly leaking. There is a practice of peace that feels counterintuitive but is essential gratitude without performance. Not forced positivity, not denial of difficulty, but quiet acknowledgement of what is steady, what is present, what is sustaining you. Gratitude grounds you in reality rather than fear-based projections. And finally, peace grows through consistent connection, not constant intensity. Short, sincere moments of prayer or reflection anchor you far more than occasional emotional highs. Peace prefers rhythm over drama, faithfulness over force. Scripture speaks directly into this kind of peace. The ancient words recorded in the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 7 say, "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Notice the word guard. Peace is not just a feeling, it is protection. It stands watch over your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. This peace does not require everything to make sense. It surpasses understanding. That means it can exist even when answers are incomplete. When peace becomes a guard, it changes how you respond under pressure. You no longer react from fear or urgency. You pause, you observe, you choose. This kind of peace creates space between stimulus and response, allowing wisdom to lead instead of emotion. These practices are not about becoming calmer by personality. They are about becoming aligned by intention. Peace is the result of repeated choices, what you focus on, what you release, what you allow access to your inner world. As you begin to practice these things, you may notice something subtle but powerful. Your reactions soften, your thoughts slow down, your decisions become clearer. Peace creates space, and space allows wisdom to rise. At the end of this section, type 88 in the comments. This number represents balance and alignment, an intentional act to mark your commitment to practicing peace rather than chasing relief. Opposition does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it shows up subtly, disguised as fatigue, distraction, or sudden doubt. You may notice resistance increasing just as clarity deepens. This is not coincidence. When alignment strengthens, interference follows. Not to stop you entirely, but to slow your momentum and blur your focus. Recognizing this pattern is part of your maturity. You are entering a phase where what you carry affects more than just you. Your decisions ripple outward. Your presence shifts atmospheres. And whenever influence increases, resistance adapts. This is not a sign that something is wrong. It is confirmation that something is working. Darkness does not react to what is harmless. It reacts to what threatens its territory. Opposition often targets your consistency rather than your belief. It aims to wear you down, not scare you away. You may feel unusually tired without clear reason. Motivation may fluctuate. Old temptations may resurface unexpectedly. These are not random struggles, they are strategic distractions meant to fracture your rhythm. The key is not to fight harder, but to remain steadier. Many people exhaust themselves trying to confront every challenge directly. Wisdom teaches you to conserve energy, to choose your battles, to remain anchored. Stability frustrates opposition more than intensity ever could. You may also notice relational shifts. Misunderstandings increase. Familiar support feels distant. Some people question your choices more openly. This is not always betrayal, sometimes it is divergence. As your path narrows, not everyone can walk beside you comfortably. Resistance often works through confusion rather than confrontation. In this phase, discernment becomes more important than explanation. You do not need to defend every decision. You do not need to correct every assumption. Silence, when chosen intentionally, protects your focus. Not every reaction deserves your energy. Opposition also tests your identity. It tries to pull you back into roles you have already outgrown. It reminds you of past failures, past limitations, past fears. This is why grounding matters now more than ever. You are no longer defined by where you came from, but by what you are aligned with. As resistance increases, so does responsibility. You are learning how to move without constant affirmation. You are learning how to trust discernment over approval. These lessons are not glamorous, but they are essential for longevity. Influence without grounding leads to collapse. You are being grounded. There will be moments when progress feels slower again, even after acceleration has begun. This does not mean regression. It means consolidation. Just as muscles need recovery after exertion, your spirit needs integration after growth. Opposition often exploits impatience during these pauses. Stay steady. You are not required to be perfect. You are required to be aware. Awareness allows you to recognize when resistance is external rather than personal. It prevents you from internalizing every challenge as failure. Not everything difficult is corrective. Some things are simply obstructive. Scripture gives language to this reality. The ancient words recorded in the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12 remind us, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. This perspective reframes opposition. It shifts your focus from people to patterns, from emotion to strategy. When you understand the nature of resistance, you stop taking it personally. You respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Opposition loses power when you refuse to personalize it. When you remain calm, focused, and consistent, interference weakens. It thrives on emotional volatility. It feeds on fear and urgency. Starve it by staying grounded. This is also where discipline protects peace. Simple routines, consistent rest, clear boundaries. These are not small things. They are defensive structures. They keep you from being drained by unnecessary battles. They preserve clarity when noise increases. You may feel tempted to isolate completely. Discernment is needed here. Solitude can restore, but isolation can distort. Choose intentional connection with those who respect your process without demanding access. Support does not need to be loud to be real. As you move forward, understand this opposition does not determine outcome. It only reveals trajectory. The resistance you feel now is temporary. The alignment you are building is lasting. Stay attentive. Stay steady. Stay anchored. You are not being pushed back. You are being tested for stability, and stability will carry you through what intensity never could. Resistance often reveals itself through subtle emotional shifts rather than obvious obstacles. Irritability, restlessness, or sudden discouragement can be signs that your focus is being challenged. When you notice these signals, pause instead of pushing. Recentering yourself in truth restores clarity and prevents temporary pressure from shaping permanent decisions. You are standing in a different place now. Even if your surroundings look familiar, something within you has settled. The urgency that once drove you has softened into clarity. The fear that once whispered in the background no longer controls your decisions. You are not waiting to become ready anymore. You are realizing that readiness has quietly formed in you through every step you endured. This is what happens after the crossing. You don't feel like you've arrived at a finish line. You feel like you've entered a rhythm. Your movements are steadier. Your reactions are slower but wiser. You are no longer pulled in every direction by emotion or expectation. You know what belongs to you. And just as importantly, you know what does not. You carry yourself differently now. Not with pride, but with grounded awareness. You don't need to announce your growth. You don't need validation to confirm it. You recognize that authority does not shout, it settles. It shows up as peace under pressure, discernment in decision-making, and restraint when reaction would be easier. This is what being crowned actually looks like. Not applause, not spotlight, but responsibility handled with calm hands. You understand now that elevation is not about being seen more, it's about being trusted more. And trust is built in private long before it is recognized in public. What comes next will not feel like chaos. It will feel intentional. Opportunities will appear that match your capacity, not overwhelm it. Relationships will shift toward mutual respect rather than demand. You will sense when to move and when to wait, not because someone tells you, but because your inner alignment confirms it. There will still be challenges, but they will no longer shake your identity. You have learned the difference between pressure and direction. Pressure rushes you. Direction steadies you. You are no longer driven by fear of missing out. You are guided by clarity of purpose. You may notice that your circle continues to narrow. This is not loss, it is focus. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into this level of responsibility. Some people were meant for preparation, not continuation. You honor them without returning to what you have outgrown. You are also learning that rest and authority coexist. You don't have to exhaust yourself to prove commitment. You don't have to explain every boundary. Your peace now protects your future more than overextension ever could. As you move forward, remember this: what is aligned does not require force. You will not need to manipulate outcomes. You will not need to chase affirmation. The right doors will open with clarity, not confusion. And when something is not for you, you will sense it early without inner turmoil. The ancient words offer reassurance for this stage of the journey. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 23. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in their way. Notice the focus on steps, not leaps. Order, not rush. Delight, not pressure. This speaks to guidance that unfolds progressively, not all at once. You don't need to see the entire path. You only need to take the next aligned step. You are no longer striving to be chosen. You are living from the reality that you already were. And that understanding changes how you carry success, how you handle silence, how you respond to uncertainty. You don't collapse when things slow down, and you don't lose yourself when things accelerate. As this message settles, if you feel a quiet confirmation rather than a rush of emotion, that's a sign of maturity. Still, if this resonated with where you are, take a moment to like it not as a habit, but as acknowledgement. And if someone comes to mind who has been walking this quiet, disciplined path, sharing this may give them language for what they've been carrying alone. If you choose to subscribe, let it be from alignment, not obligation. This space is for those who value depth over noise, steadiness over urgency, and clarity over constant stimulation. Staying connected is less about content and more about continuity. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into stewardship of your time, your energy, your voice. And what you steward well will continue to grow without stealing your peace. You have crossed. You have been tested. You have been refined. And now, you move forward crowned not by recognition, but by readiness. You don't need to rush away from this moment. Let it sit with you for a while. Not every word was meant to be remembered, and not every sentence was meant to be carried forward. But if even one idea lingered, if one line stayed with you longer than the others, that's usually the part meant for you. This ending is not a conclusion, it's a pause. Life doesn't change all at once because of a message. Change happens when something quietly shifts inside you and begins to influence how you think, choose, and respond afterward. You don't need to explain that shift to anyone. You don't need to label it. Just notice it. If this message was helpful, if it gave you clarity or steadiness, you're free to share it. Not out of obligation, not because someone told you to, but because sometimes words arrive from more than one person at the same time. Sharing can be a way of passing along language to someone who hasn't found their own yet. And if it wasn't helpful in its entirety, that's okay too. You're not required to take everything with you. Keep only what resonated, keep what felt true. Keep what brought calm or insight. Let the rest go without resistance. Not every tool is meant for every season. Growth often happens quietly, without announcement. You don't need a dramatic response to validate it. Sometimes the most meaningful shifts show up later in how you pause before reacting, in how you say no without guilt, in how you trust your discernment a little more than before. There is no pressure to do anything immediately, no checklist to complete. No role to perform, just awareness. And awareness, when left undisturbed, tends to shape things naturally. So take what belongs to you, leave what doesn't, and move forward at your own pace, carrying only what feels aligned.